It's time for another deep dive, and today we're going to be tackling a classic in the homeschooling world.
Oh, yeah, a big one.
Teach your child to read in 100 easy lessons.
I know this one. I've heard so much about it.
Yes, you and just about every homeschool parent out there, this book has been around forever.
Since 1986, to be exact.
Wow, that is a long time, and it's still super popular.
It is, yeah. It's a bestseller for a reason.
So for those who haven't encountered it yet, what is it about this book that's made it such a mainstay? What's the magic formula?
Well, it's interesting, actually. It was created as a response to another program that was really popular back then called DISTAR.
Okay, I've heard of that one too.
Yeah, and DISTAR was known for being very structured.
Like really rigid.
Exactly. And the authors of 100 Easy Lessons wanted to offer a more accessible alternative, something that any parent could use, even without a background in education.
So they were going for simplicity.
Yes, but still with that emphasis on structure and direct instruction.
And that's where the easy lessons come in.
Exactly. Each lesson is designed to be short and manageable, about 30 minutes a day.
So it's not overwhelming for either the parent or the child.
Right. And it focuses heavily on phonics, which is really the foundation of reading.
So it's like back to basics, breaking down the code.
Yeah, it's all about giving kids that solid understanding of the relationship between letters and sounds.
And that's so important, especially in those early stages of reading.
It is. It's the key to unlocking the whole world of written language.
Okay, so we've got the short lessons, the focus on phonics. And what else is it about 100 easy lessons that appeals to homeschool parents?
Well, I think a big part of it is the simplicity. You really don't need any special materials beyond the book itself and some paper.
No fancy curriculum kits or expensive subscriptions.
Nope, it's very budget friendly, which is a huge plus for a lot of homeschooling families.
And it's very parent-led.
Right, absolutely. The book is written directly to the parent, and it guides you through each step of the lesson.
So you don't have to be a reading specialist to feel confident teaching your child.
Exactly. You become the teacher with the help of this very detailed guide.
That's really empowering, I think. And it aligns with that whole homeschooling philosophy of being actively involved in your child's education.
Definitely. It puts the parent right at the center of the learning process.
Okay, so we've talked about all the things that make 100 easy lessons so popular. But I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the one thing that I hear parents say over and over again.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
It can be a bit dry,
Haha. Yeah, that's the word I hear too.
like effective but not exactly the most thrilling curriculum out there.
It's true. And while some kids might not mind that repetition and structure, others might need a little something extra to keep them engaged.
Especially those little ones who thrive on creativity and hands-on activities.
Right. They need that spark to keep the learning fun and exciting.
And that, my friend, is where our next topic comes in.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's called Glimmercat Education.
Glimmercat Education.
Yes, and it's like the perfect companion to 100 easy lessons. It takes all that good stuff, the phonics, the structure, the simplicity, and it injects it with a big dose of fun and creativity.
So it's like the sidekick that makes the superhero even more awesome.
Exactly. And the best part is it was created by a homeschool mom who was using 100 easy lessons with her own kids.
Oh, so she knows the drill. She gets it.
She totally gets it. And she saw that while the program was effective, her kids weren't exactly jumping for joy during reading time.
I can relate to that.
So she decided to do something about it. She put her teacher hat on and her creative mom hat on.
And Glimmercat Education was born.
That's the story. And it's a beautiful example of how homeschool parents can really customize their approach to meet their kids' needs.
Yeah, it's about taking a solid foundation and making it your own.
So let's dive into what Glimmercat Education actually offers. What kind of materials are we talking about here?
Well, she's got a range of things, but her most popular offering is the After 5 through After 100 Phonics Bundle.
That's a mouthful.
It is, but it covers the entire 100 Easy Lessons book.
So it's like a companion guide with all sorts of extra goodies.
Exactly. It's packed with colorful worksheets, fun flashcards, creative crafts, and even story time pages for extra reading practice.
Wow, that sounds pretty comprehensive.
It is. She really thought of everything to make learning to read more engaging and fun.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued.
Okay.
So let's break it down, starting with those worksheets. You mentioned they're colorful. What makes them different from the typical black and white drill sheets we often see?
Well, they're designed to be visually appealing and engaging. They use lots of bright colors, fun fonts, and cute illustrations.
So they're more like activity pages than worksheets.
Exactly. And they reinforce the letter sounds and phonics rules from 100 Easy Lessons in a way that's just more fun for kids.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then you've got the flashcards, which are great for practicing sounds and building vocabulary.
We use flashcards a lot with my kids. They're so versatile.
They are. You can use them for all sorts of games and activities.
And they're really helpful for those visual learners who need to see the letters and sounds together.
Absolutely. It helps them make those connections in their brains.
Okay, so we've got the worksheets, the flashcards. Now, tell me more about these crafts. I'm always up for a good craft project, but how do they tie into learning to read?
That's the clever part. They're directly linked to the stories and vocabulary in 100 Easy Lessons.
So it's like taking those little stories off the page and bringing them to life.
Exactly. It's hands-on learning at its best, and kids absolutely love it.
I bet they do. It's sneaky learning, too, because they're having so much fun they don't even realize they're learning.
Exactly. It's all about making learning enjoyable and memorable.
Okay, sold on the crafts. What about the storytime pages?
These are little mini lessons that provide extra reading practice and comprehension exercises.
So it's like getting a bonus activity with each set of material.
Exactly. It's a great way to reinforce what they've learned and to check their understanding.
I love that. So basically, Glimmercat Education has thought of everything to make 100 easy lessons more fun and engaging.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, she's done a fantastic job.
Now, I'm really curious to hear what parents and teachers have to say about it, because at the end of the day, I want to know if it actually helps kids become confident readers.
Me too. Let's dive into that next.
That's good to me.
Okay. So let's talk about results.
All right, let's talk results. Because we can talk about all bells and whistles, but if it doesn't actually work...
It's all for nothing.
Right, exactly. So what have you heard? What are parents saying about the effectiveness of Glimmercat Education?
Well, the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. Parents are saying that their kids are more engaged with 100 Easy Lessons when they use Glimmercat's materials alongside it.
So they're actually looking forward to reading time.
Yes, which
Yeah.
is huge, especially for those kids who might have been resistant to the more traditional approach.
It's like turning a chore into something fun.
And parents are also reporting that their kids are retaining information better. They're remembering those phonics rules, and they're able to apply them to new words.
So it's not just anecdotal evidence. There are actual results.
Right. It's making a real difference in how kids are learning to read.
And it makes sense. When kids are having fun and they're actively involved in the learning process, they're more likely to absorb the material.
Definitely. It's about tapping into their natural curiosity and their love of play.
And speaking of play, you mentioned that Glimmercat Education even includes games.
Oh, yeah. She's got lots of fun game ideas that you can use with the flashcards and other materials.
That's so awesome. I love that she's encouraging that playful approach to learning.
It's so important, especially for younger kids.
Okay, so we've got happy parents, happy kids, but what about teachers? Have you heard anything about how Glimmercat Education is being used in classrooms?
Yes. Actually, teachers are loving it too.
Really? So it's not just for homeschoolers?
Nope. It's versatile enough to be used in a variety of settings.
That's great to hear. So how are teachers using it?
Well, they're finding it really helpful for differentiating instruction.
Which means what exactly?
It means tailoring lessons to different learning styles and needs.
Okay.
So, for example, a teacher might use the crafts with a student who needs a more hands-on approach.
Or they might use the storytime pages with a student who's ready for a bit more of a challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It allows them to customize the learning experience for each individual student.
And that's so important in a classroom setting where you have such a diverse range of learners.
It is. It helps every child feel successful and engaged.
And you know what else I love about Glimmercat Education?
What's that?
She offers a free After 5 phonics packet.
Oh, yes. That's such a great resource.
It's like a little taste test of what her materials are like.
Exactly. You can download it from her website and try it out with your child before you commit to buying anything.
It's a brilliant marketing strategy, but it's also just really generous.
It is. It shows that she really cares about helping families and making reading accessible to everyone.
Okay, so we talked a lot about the fun and engaging aspects of Glimmercat Education. But I think it's important to remember that it's built upon the solid foundation of 100 easy lessons.
Right. It's not meant to replace the program, it's meant to enhance it.
Exactly. So let's take a moment to revisit 100 easy lessons and talk about why it's been so effective for so many families.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so one of the things that I hear parents praise about 100 easy lessons is its clear step-by-step approach.
Yeah, it really takes the guesswork out of teaching reading.
especially for those parents who might feel a bit intimidated by the whole process.
Right, the scripted lessons tell you exactly what to say and do.
So you don't have to be a reading expert to feel confident.
And that's so important because confidence is key when you're teaching your child.
Absolutely. If you're feeling stressed or unsure, it's going to come across to your child.
And they're going to pick up on that.
So 100 Easy Lessons is like a security blanket for parents.
Yeah, it's a reassuring guide that walks you through every step of the way.
And I imagine that structure is also beneficial for the child.
Oh, definitely. Having that predictable routine can make a big difference, especially for younger learners.
It helps them feel safe and secure
And it allows them to focus on the task at hand.
without getting distracted or overwhelmed.
Exactly. So it's a win-win for both the parent and the child.
And as we mentioned before, 100 Easy Lessons is really known for its focus on phonics.
Which, as we've established, is the foundation of reading.
It's all about understanding those letter-sound relationships.
And 100 Easy Lessons breaks down those phonics rules in a very systematic way.
Starting with the simplest sounds and gradually building from there.
So kids are never feeling lost or overwhelmed.
They're always building upon what they've already learned.
And that helps them build confidence and momentum.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Glimmercat's materials come in to amplify that sense of excitement and achievement.
Right. They take that solid foundation and they make it even more fun and engaging.
So it's like a dynamic duo of reading instruction.
I like that. The brains and the heart working together.
Exactly. And it's all about creating a positive and successful reading experience for every child.
That's the ultimate goal.
And I think it's so valuable that Glimmercat provides options for families.
Oh, yeah. She's got something for everyone.
They can choose the complete after 5 through after 100 phonics bundle if they want full coverage.
Or they can pick and choose individual packets based on their needs and budget.
And let's not forget that free after 5 phonics packet.
Right. It's a great way to try before you buy.
So you can see if Glimmercat style is a good fit for your family.
And if it is, you can dive in with confidence.
I love that. So we've got the solid structure and proven effectiveness of 100 Easy Lessons.
Combined with the fun and creativity of Glimmercat Education.
It sounds like a winning combination to me.
I think so too.
And I think it's so important to remember that teaching a child to read is more than just an academic exercise.
Oh, absolutely. It's about opening up a whole new world of possibilities.
It's about giving them the tools to explore their imagination, to learn new things, to connect with others.
It's about empowering them to become lifelong learners.
And I think it's beautiful that 100 Easy Lessons and Glimmercat Education offer a path for families to embark on that journey together.
It's a true partnership.
And it's a reminder that even though homeschooling can be challenging,
It's also incredibly rewarding.
and it's moments like these when you're witnessing your child discover the magic of reading.
That make it all worthwhile.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's raise a glass to all the homeschool parents out there
Cheer.
who are working tirelessly to give their children the gift of reading.
You're doing amazing work.
And keep up the great work.
You got this.
All right, so that wraps up part 1 of our deep dive into 100 Easy Lessons and Glimmercat Education.
I can't wait to see what you have in store for us in part 2.
Oh, you know me. I've got lots more goodies to share.
I'm excited.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone.
All right, so we left off talking about all the amazing results that parents and teachers are seeing with Glimmercat Education.
Yeah, those testimonials are pretty inspiring.
They are. It's one thing to hear about a product in theory, but it's another thing altogether to hear from real families who are using it and seeing a difference.
Right. It gives it that credibility, that authenticity.
Exactly. So let's dig a little deeper into those results. What specifically are people saying?
Well, one of the things that keeps coming up is engagement.
Like kids are actually excited about reading time.
Yeah. They're not just going through the motions, they're actively participating and having fun.
And that's huge, because when kids are engaged, they're learning.
Absolutely. It makes all the difference in the world.
And I'm curious, what are some of the things that Glimmercat does to boost that engagement?
Well, for starters, she makes learning visual.
Which is so important for young learners.
It is. They need to see those letters and sounds. They need to connect the dots.
And Glimmercat's materials are full of bright colors, fun fonts, and engaging illustrations.
Exactly. It's not just about presenting information. It's about presenting it in a way that's appealing to kids.
And that's where those colorful worksheets and flashcards come in.
Right. They're not your typical boring drill sheets. They're more like activity pages that kids actually want to do.
And then there are the crafts.
Oh, yeah. The crafts are a big hit.
They seem to be a real crowd pleaser. And I can see why.
They're hands-on, they're creative, and they tie directly into the lessons.
So kids are learning without even realizing it.
Exactly. It's sneaky learning at its finest.
And speaking of sneaky learning, you mentioned that Glimmercat even includes games.
Yes, games are a fantastic way to make learning fun and engaging.
They take the pressure off and allow kids to learn in a more relaxed and playful way.
And Glimmercat's games are designed to be used with the flashcards and other materials.
So it's all integrated. It all works together.
Exactly. It's a complete system.
And it's a system that's getting results. Parents are reporting that their kids are not only more engaged, they're also retaining information better.
Yeah, they're remembering those phonics rules, they're able to decode words, and they're making progress in their reading.
So it's not just about the fun factor. It's about real, tangible results.
Right. It's about giving kids the tools they need to become confident readers.
And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about something else that's really cool about Glimmercat Education.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's not just for homeschoolers.
Oh, really? I thought it was specifically designed for homeschooling families.
Well, it was originally created with homeschoolers in mind.
Because the creator herself was a homeschool mom.
Right, but it turns out that her materials are versatile enough to be used in a variety of settings.
Like classrooms?
Exactly. Teachers are loving Glimmercat Education too.
I'm not surprised. It sounds like it would be a fantastic resource for any teacher.
It is, and teachers are using it in all sorts of ways.
Like what?
Well, for starters, it's great for differentiating instruction.
Which means what exactly?
It means tailoring lessons to different learning styles and needs.
Okay, so for example,
A teacher might use the crafts with a student who needs a more hands-on approach.
or they might use the storytime pages with a student who's ready for a bit more of a challenge.
Exactly. It allows them to customize the learning experience for each individual student.
And that's so important in a classroom setting where you have such a diverse range of learners.
It is. It helps every child feel successful and engaged.
And that's what we want.
Yeah.
We want all kids to feel like they can learn and grow.
Absolutely. And Glimmercat Education is helping to make that happen.
That's wonderful to hear. So it sounds like Glimmercat Education is a win-win for both parents and teachers.
I think so. It's a valuable resource that can really make a difference in how kids learn to read.
And speaking of resources, let's not forget that Glimmercat offers a free After 5 phonics packet.
Oh, yeah. That's a great way for people to try out her materials before they buy anything.
It's like a little sneak peek into her world.
Exactly. You can download it from her website and see if it's a good fit for your child.
It's a risk-free way to experience the magic of Glimmercat Education.
And who knows? You might just fall in love.
I have a feeling a lot of people will.
All right. So we've covered a lot of ground today talking about 100 easy lessons and Glimmercat Education.
We have.
Yeah.
And I think it's been a really fascinating conversation.
Me too. I always love talking about reading and how to make it fun and engaging for kids.
It's such an important topic.
Yeah.
And I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about.
I hope so.
So let's do a quick recap. What are the key takeaways from our deep dive?
Okay, well, first of all, we talked about the enduring popularity of 100 Easy Lessons.
That book has been around for almost 40 years.
And it's still going strong.
It's a classic for a reason.
It is. It's got that clear step-by-step approach, the focus on phonics, the simplicity. It's a really solid foundation for teaching reading.
But we also acknowledge that it can be a bit dry.
Yeah. Some kids might not mind that repetition, but others need a little something extra to keep them motivated.
And that's where Glimmercat Education comes in.
Exactly. It's like the sprinkles on the cupcake.
I love that analogy.
It takes that good stuff, the phonics, the structure, the simplicity, and it makes it even better.
By adding in those colorful worksheets, the fun flashcards, the creative crafts, the storytime pages.
It's all about making learning to read more fun and engaging.
And the results speak for themselves.
They do. Parents and teachers are raving about how Glimmercat Education has transformed their reading lessons.
Kids are more engaged, they're retaining information better, they're making progress in their reading.
It's really amazing to see.
And it's all thanks to the creativity and passion of one homeschool mom who wanted to make a difference.
Yeah, she saw a need and she filled it.
And she's helped countless families along the way.
And she's still going strong.
She is. So if you're a homeschooling parent or a teacher looking for a way to add some sparkle to your reading lessons,
I highly recommend checking out Glimmercat Education.
you can find her website at website address.
And don't forget to download that free After 5 phonics packet.
It's a great way to get a taste of what she has to offer.
And to see if it's a good fit for your family or your classroom.
And with that, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure was all mine. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode informative and inspiring.
And most importantly, we hope you feel empowered to embark on your own reading adventures with your children.
Happy reading, everyone.